If you knew morning wood, then you know why I feel blue. Without morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Oh, how my heart yearns for you. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you, yes, I love you, morning wood. Morning wood, morning wood. Pretty, 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 pretty morning wood. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Oh, well, I love you and I need you, morning wood. I love you, morning wood, with a love so rare and true. Oh, morning, my morning wood. Well, I love you, I want you, morning wood.
Rise and shine. Happy Devil's Thursday. This is The Morning Woo, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios inside the bunker. Undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network. As we're talking Devils hockey on this beautiful Thursday morning, February 5th, 2026. It's 8:01 a.m. Eastern. Devils played the New York Islanders tonight at the Rock. Last game before the Olympic break. It's a big game. We'll be at American Whiskey. Game Day Live, Devils After Dark. I know fans are kind of fed up right now with this team. We're going to talk about the slim, very slim Devils playoff chances in a moment. I see people commenting. Michael Hay, happy Devil's Thursday. Dubs is like, fire everyone. Every office should be vacated by the time all these loser players get back in 3 weeks. Meyer can stay in Europe too. For all I care, the organization and roster is an utter disgrace, says Dubs is like. Maria, good morning. 10-0 tonight, Sam. Tom. I'm 70-30 skipping this game. I'm so fed up with this crap team. Yeah, I'm bringing the Mickey costume. I think it's time to make a statement. I've got my Mickey Mouse costume raring to go at American Whiskey. I'll be giving out Rangers Suck fortune cookies as well. I'm debating even to wear the cookie costume over the Mickey Mouse costume as well. It may be a little bit of an overload for folks, but trying to change up the mojo, trying to figure this whole thing out. But I'll be at American Whiskey, 51 Addison Place, across the street from Prudential Center next to Championship Plaza, the official home game bar of the Let's Go Devils podcast. So let's talk about the math, where the Devils are in the standings. How many points will it take for this team to, get into the playoffs? Playoffs? You're talking about playoffs? Mike Rossi says, Fitzy is going to try to save his job, but makes matters worse with his horrendous trade decisions. Yes. Nick Bustad is now a New Jersey Devil. Again, I was debating even mentioning it because to me it's just irrelevant. Like, what's the point? But as you heard yesterday. So let's look at the standings right now. Where the Devils are. Because it's going to... We've seen it before in the NHL. Miraculous comebacks. The Devils were top of the league first 10 games into the season. And then fell off a cliff. Finding themselves with 58 points, 56 games played, second to last in the Eastern Conference. Only the New York Rangers are worse. So you're telling me when the Devils were 8-1, they had 16 points, mostly in regulation too. Majority of those wins were in regulation, practically all of them. You're telling me 16 points at the 9-game mark. Since then, they've been only be able to muster 42 points. So that's insane. This hasn't been a very good team since the start of the season. How many games left? About 26 games left, if my math is correct. 26 games left in the season. So let's pull out the calculator right now. That leaves you, if you go on a 26 game heater, that's 52 points plus the 58 points they have right now. That's 110 points. That'll get you in the playoffs, but 26 game heater is highly unlikely, especially with this squad. Because the Metropolitan Division and the Atlantic Division, the Eastern Conference is so competitive right now. Frank Saravalli put it out there. You're probably going to need 100 points, where traditionally speaking, 95, 96 points would get you into the playoffs. But say if you need 100 points, that only allows the Devils 5 regulation losses. 5 regulation losses. The Devils would need to go 21-5 the rest of the way. So you got 5 mulligans. 5 mulligans. And obviously there are these 1-point games here and there. But overall, you're allowed 5 mulligans of regulation losses to get into the playoffs. You've got to win about 85% of your games from here on out. Robert Isaacson says team needs to go 19-7 to get the minimum of 96 points. It's not impossible, but the way things are going with this New Jersey Devils team, they're not making the playoffs. Unless something miraculous happens. Something that lights a fire under the asses of the players. It's simply not going to happen. And I've said this over and over and over again. When Jacob Markstrom was struggling and the Devils were just giving away these 2-point games, it's going to all catch up to you. And I was begging Sheldon Keefe to ride Jake Allen and let Markstrom figure it out. I know, keep sending him out there. He'll find it, but at what cost? Had you played Jake Allen, I think the Devils probably would have at least 10 more points, which would put them at 68 points right now, had they played Jake Allen instead of Jacob Markstrom. Remember how many 4-0 leads there were in the first period of the opposition because Markstrom just couldn't find his game till the third period. It was ridiculous in the beginning of the season. If the Devils had 68 points right now, they'd be ahead of the Islanders. We're talking a matter of 10 points just by playing Jake Allen. That's my belief. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree. But Markstrom was struggling so badly with the goals against average above 3.5, games that you couldn't win, and you were without Jack Hughes. You were without like half your team in the lineup with injuries. You got to ride your hot goaltender. And now it's going to cost you. Because now you're behind the 8 ball. You could be at least in a wild card, in a playoff spot. We're talking, I truly believe if the Devils had Jake Allen playing majority of the games instead of Jacob Markstrom struggling in all these games, I truly believe they're in playoff contention right now. But instead, they find themselves 9 points out of a playoff spot through the Islanders, and they've got to jump the Blue Jackets, the Capitals, and the Flyers to make that happen. That's why tonight's game is so important. So important. The Devils it's a must-win regulation game. They blew it against the BJs, the Blue Jackets, the other night. NY Davey, who would have thought the 2025-26 NJD primary issue is lack of scoring? It's lack of chemistry. It's what Sheldon Keefe said. Lack of making plays. You know, you got to put the pressure on. You can't just have one good play for one period. No, you've got to pepper the goaltender. You got to take massive action out there and will your way to a goal. And again, what kind of effect has Palat had on the team in the locker room now that he's gone? Who Andre Palat will be back in New Jersey? Gears of John says tank for the fella. Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. Gavin McKenna, that story. That was a polarizing story coming out of Penn State. I have some opinions on that. NY Davey, yet they have successfully integrated Gritsik and Aminaho, 2 homegrown productive forwards. First time since Mercer. Yeah, I mean, Gritsik, was in the starting. It was on the opening day roster without spending time in Utica. Good on Gritsik. Aminaho, one of my favorite players right now. Devils have to find a way. It's going to be ugly tonight if they lose. It's essentially over by the odds makers. This is a very difficult hill to climb, but we've seen other teams do it in the past where the goaltender gets hot, everybody gets happy, everybody goes happy scoring. But something has to spark the Devils. Something has to happen. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's simply not. It's simply not. I want it to happen. I want to tell you it can happen. Mathematically, time is running out. It's certainly possible they can have a playoff berth. But if they lose tonight, they got 3 weeks to think about it. You lose tonight, it puts you 11 points behind. 11. And then you're going to need some help from a lot of these teams you're trying to jump over. You're going to need them to lose. Next 25 games. Whew. It's hard to move with the 3-point system. With the shootout wins and the overtime wins, it's going to be tough. Not going to lie to you. NY Davey says, I don't know if this team has the heart and leadership in the locker room to overcome this adversity. Oh, yeah, they don't have that counterpunch like the Tampa Bay Lightning did in that outdoor game against the Boston Bruins. No, for sure, they don't. They don't have the mental fortitude, the intestinal fortitude to do that. And that's what championship teams do. And if anybody that's going to rise through the standings in the last 25 games after the break, taking a wild card spot, there's only one team capable, and that's the Florida Panthers. They're able to do that, and they've done it before in the past, where they had a so-and-so season but just turn it on at the right time in the last month and a half of the season. We've seen that before, but can the Devils follow that? Could the Olympic break reinvigorate this team with confidence if they have a good showing for their respective country and their teams? Because that's kind of like the midseason, excuse me, the midseason big reset. Jack is out today. Steven says if Jack does not play tonight, should not play in the Olympics. Yeah, I felt this all along since he's been back from his finger injury, that it was just like, I don't know. And the whole thing of the Devils marketing him talking to Billy Guerin, him gushing the bromance between Bill Guerin and Jack Hughes. It just, perception's everything, and it just seems like he's just getting conditioned for what he wants to do. It just feels that way. It's probably not fair to Jack that I say that, but I'm telling you how it feels. Because I want Jack to play for the New Jersey Devils 100%. Dak Hansen says, Coach is visibly over Jack's situation. NY Davies says that's why the reason behind bringing Palat to the locker room, giving him an A, was for his leadership and experience and winning pedigree. And unfortunately, it didn't translate on the score sheet. I didn't have a problem with Palat. I just have a problem with his AAV and that score sheet. Because I think it's better served not playing Palat and make him a $6 million a year assistant coach. I think that would have been more effective with the cap. Robert Isaacson says, I don't buy the break will rejuvenate because all the guys who are struggling are going to the Olympics. What I meant by rejuvenate is more a mindset than physically rejuvenate. Because if you remember, after that Four Nations tournament last season, the players that were in that tournament, they were rejuvenated by the time they got back to their teams. They were so fired up. You never know. Years of John says ChatGPT says their current odds to make the playoffs is 40%. If they lose to the Isles tonight, their odds drop down to 28%. I think ChatGPT is wrong there. But I could be wrong. I think Nick Villano said it was, 7%? Forgot what he said yesterday on State of the Fan Address, which is on our podcast pages now. NY Davey says, I just want to see my speedy north-south version of the Devils. Where did they go? Mostly the same players. Yeah, it's just, why did they disappear? Why did they disappear? Why is it the stretch of games where they got each other's backs as teammates with the scrums and all that, and then you go 10 games with nobody helping each other out? I don't get it. All right, let's talk a little bit of the Gavin McKenna saga story coming out of State College, Pennsylvania. As you may know, Penn State hockey star Gavin McKenna was charged with a felony assault amongst other charges for getting into an altercation with somebody. And before I go into the details, just remember, facts are still coming out. This story. Let the facts come out. Let it play out in court before reaching a judgment. You are innocent till proven guilty. But regardless, these are serious charges, considering the fact that I don't think Gavin McKenna has dual citizenship, but from Canada. I don't know how that's treated, but he was charged with a felony assault. Here are the details. After the outdoor game at Penn State, the team had an event with their families, the players, the families. Gavin McKenna was at the team event. Allegedly, a guy who was 21 years old, Gavin McKenna 18, was harassing, drunk, yelling at everyone at that event. And words were exchanged. Everybody tried to de-escalate it. And that 21-year-old guy gets kicked out. Allegedly, it took place outside. The incident took outside of the restaurant bar establishment, as the guy was waiting for Gavin McKenna. He calls, allegedly, this guy who was drunk and harassing McKenna inside the restaurant, then calls Gavin McKenna's mom a whore, allegedly. He tries to start with McKenna after he exited the building. Apparently, surveillance shows that McKenna threw 2 punches outside. Guy has a broken jaw. Had to have surgery. And that's where it stands. There will be a hearing, I believe, February 11th. And that's all I got. Mickey Ribs. Happy Devil's Thursday to you. Mickey, I haven't yet. Please subscribe to our podcast, the Let's Go Devils podcast, at Let's Go Devils. Gavin McKenna is what Robert Isaacson said, a potential number 1 pick in the upcoming NHL draft. Here's what John said, cash me outside. How about that? That's what Gavin said. Hello, Mark Schwab. Robert Isaacson says the Devils over-under on points at DraftKings is 87.5, and not making the playoffs is minus 650. Market doesn't think they're making the playoffs. But if you're a risky bettor and you don't care and you want to bet on your team, I don't even know what the numbers are, the money line on that for, but I bet you it's probably plus 5,000 right now. You may want to place your bet. Gerza John says, classic college kid bar fight. He'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, that's not the first bar fight in state college, and certainly not the last. Meadowlander says the Devils need this kid. Oh, yeah. Hey, I have a lot of respect for Gavin McKenna. Like, legally speaking, you're not supposed to do that. I get it. But if somebody calls your mom a whore, that's unacceptable. Again, it's guy code. And the guy, in my opinion, I think he got what he deserved. From guy code position. But from a legal standpoint, the American legal system, can't do that. You should know better. You should show restraint. And Gavin will learn through the process. I think he's going to be fine. Again, it's what Nick Villano and I talked about it like yesterday. The PA court system, the magistrates and all that. I mean, I don't know what it's like now, but like half of these judges don't have law degrees. Not even close. But hopefully common sense prevails here. But there are a lot of money-hungry people out there. I'm sure the law offices of A.J. Visco and Sons would see this as an opportunity for the 21-year-old to sue Gavin McKenna, knowing that he has $750,000 in NIL money, who he is, and all that. So it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. But at the same time, don't be calling someone's mom a whore. I mean, that's just not right. That's over the line. That's so over the line. And I'm sure Maria is 100% for NHL fighting. I think she would agree. Meadowlander says, save it. Save it for the ice, Gavin. Robert Isaacson says, I think if this was the football team, athletic department takes care of this. It's the hockey team. I don't think they get the same leeway. Maria says, 100% like the kid already. Yeah, I actually put in, I did a Hail Mary. I actually put in a interview request for Gavin McKenna, and I don't think that's going to happen now. Dubs is like, did he pull the shirt over the head before the punches were thrown? That's what I want to know. I mean, yeah, he had a great interview with Spittin' Chicklets when they visited Penn State for the outdoor game. Man, the outdoor game was freaking phenomenal because the fans made it phenomenal. Yes, Mark. If we win tonight, we'll be 7 points behind the New York Islanders. It's a must-win. Regulation. Must win. Devils have to win pretty much every game. They've got 5 mulligans. 5 regulation losses. That's all they're afforded right now. Meadowlander says, yes, Maria, a player that responds with passion. Send him here. Heck yeah. All right, well, I'm going to be getting out of here, folks. I'll be at American Whiskey, Game Day Live, Devils After Dark. I'm bringing my Mickey Mouse costume. I don't know how people are going to feel about it. I'm just poking fun of the situation it's more directed towards Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment Group. It's all in good fun. Mark Schwab says, is that true? We go 19-5 and 3 or something. I think Devils have 26 more games left, including tonight's game. You're close enough. But we shall see. All right, we're going to do the ceremonial sip. Everyone get your drinks ready. Hold them high. God, I hope we win tonight. And I salute to that. Cheers. That felt good. Maria says, how's the shoulder, Sam? I don't know. When that security guard grabbed me out on the ice, my shoulder hasn't, my neck hasn't felt right. And I signed that damn waiver form. I got to call the law offices of AJ Visco and Sons. Speaking of lawsuits, just jokes. Dag for Hansen said maybe add a name tag to the mouse gear that says Harris Blitzer. That's funny. Get a Harris Blitzer jersey. All right. Get out of here. Till next time, this is the Morning Woo. Let's go, Devils.
I